Hey guys, welcome to the FIDE online playlist as per usual. We got another one here to analyze and look at. This is from the FIDE online Rapid Arena, and your guys' host Colin Heim here with US Virgin Islands virtual tutorials at home and abroad. Had black pieces again, so the server keeps giving me black. Let's look at a game now on this playlist. It was just played today, December 3rd, and my opponent had white pieces. Let's look at the game from the white pieces perspective. Again, if you take a look at the notation, guys, another old Sicilian defense. I feel like this is just played almost every time I enter into the online arena. I feel like this is just, there's too much of this, you know? Anyway, so going for this open Sicilian now with d4, d2, d4. And guys, when your opponent plays this, for my learners and my younglings out there, you don't have to capture. Okay, so let's just get into a little analysis here. You don't have to capture because after captures, it's kind of late here to play e6. And why is it late? Because white gets to develop now. And after maybe kicking this bishop all the way back to b3 now. Sure, black gets a check here. But this is known to be pretty good for white guys in most cases. Whoops. Take with the queen. I guess this is pretty good to be known. Black shouldn't take there. Black should just develop. I guess this is known to be pretty good for white in this position, guys. This is just a little better. Yeah, so that's why black looks really, really poor in this position. White looks like he or she has all their pieces coordinated. So instead of all that, as we mentioned, guys, not taking there, just e6, okay? So e6 is fine. And knight to c3 now, played by my opponent from Spain. Queen to b6 now, decent move. Saying, all right, well, if something like captures, and now capturing with the bishop, and there's pressure on the f2 pawn. So in this position, my opponent played knight to a4, now attacking my queen that just got developed to b6. So now throwing a check, guys, queen to b4 check, and pushing c3 now, and notice how the white horse there on a4 is protected by the queen on d1, so queen to a5. And then my opponent plays the move knight takes c5. So capturing the pawn here with the knight. Guys, find the best move for white in this position. After I give everyone a couple of seconds, find the best move for white. Okay, well, the best move for white was just taking here with the pawn. And then after bishop captures and knight captures and queen captures, then you could actually just play this developing move, and white looks fine here. Looks pretty even. You got the bishop pair for white, and this queen is going back to somewhere probably, not like b6, guys, somewhere maybe like e7. And then white can continue doing his or her thing, and then this could happen. Okay, so none of that happened in the game, but what we saw in the game was c3, queen a5, and knight captures. This is highly unrecommended by the engine, but my opponent played it anyway. And bishop captures c5, played by myself. Yes, guys, now, and now pawn captures, and now recapturing the pawn here with queen captures on c5. That's why I showed that previous line in the virtual analysis, guys, just to demonstrate that, yeah, it wasn't best to take with the horse, of course, on a4. So bishop e2 now, guys, played by my opponent. My opponent has the bishop pair. We see dark squared bishop, light squared bishop. Okay. Knight to f6 was a good move. Bishop to e3 now, just attacking my queen there on c5. Queen drops back to e7. Black looks pretty good here, despite not having the c8 bishop developed yet. So e5, attacking my knight on f6. Knight goes to g4, the correct move now, attacking the dark squared bishop. Bishop goes to g5, attacking the queen. Now, guys, find the best move for black in this position. While I quiz everyone and give a couple of seconds, find the best move for black. Yeah, guys, this move will get you in a lot of trouble. Do not play a move like f6, let's say, in this particular, because, yeah, there's a pawn there on e5, and after this, This is basically doomsday. This is actually really bad for it's really bad for Team Black. So Black looks really bad there. So instead, after bishop to g5, guys, queen to c5. Okay. And after queen to c5, short castles played by my opponent. Short castles may or may not have been the best move. I mean, you got to find a way to somehow, maybe better than that was just dropping the bishop back, right? And then after knight captures, bishop captures, queen captures, and I don't prefer white here. I don't. I think the center is now, taken over, and even though white has a developed bishop here, yeah, black looks a lot better here, guys. The pawn structure for black is much more favorable, as black is also up a pawn. Yes. So none of that happened in the game. Instead, we saw after dropping back, and as we mentioned, we went through all this: queen to c5, short castles. And now capturing a free pawn in the center, my opponent offering me the e5 pawn. After knight captures in h3, asking a question of my knight. First capturing the knight on f3 with check to the white king. And bishop captures f3, and yeah, guys, find the star move in this position, right? I have my g4 knight here under attack, and I kind of just gave it away. I kind of spoiled it, but find the star move here. Well, my idea is that after playing the best move recommended by the engine and after rook captures here, my queen is just winning the bishop on g5, and I'm actually winning another pawn now. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5 pawns for white and 2, 4, 6, 7 for black. Black is up 2 pawns and in a very comfortable position with a nice queen across from that white king. Okay? So that was my whole idea with this, and of course the engine loved it because it was actually the best move. And now playing a very fatal move, my opponent, queen to c1. Well, it was just best to capture, and then after captures here, white can just hope for the best, guys. Yeah, white can hope for the best, and right, a move like this takes away black's castling rights, privileges. I'd say that's probably the best move in the position. You go for something like this, just go straight to this endgame, and black is winning 2 pawns. So anyway, that was the best continuation for my opponent, guys, but we see no queen to c1, and now, guys, can you find the best move for black? Yes, this is the best move. Queen into h3, and now the white king is what we call under a discovered check from the queen on c5. Okay, so that's why in this position now king had to go to h1. And now just gobbling up another minor piece, so black here is +6 in the position of 3 pawns and a minor piece. And obviously, guys, for my beginners, white cannot take here because the queen is also defending, so giving up a piece. b4 now was played in the game here, yes, by my opponent, somehow asking a question of my queen. Queen drops back, still defending the knight there on g5, in fact. So bishop into g4 now, and h5 is fine. Bishop in this is all seen in the game now, guys. Game moves here. h5, h4, king to g1, h3, and queen to f4. So, guys, find the best position in this move for black now after I give you a couple of seconds. Find the best move for black. Black is completely winning, as it's just up too much material. As the engine provides us with, yes, the best solution is, yes, pawn into g2, and after king into g2, we see b6. Now my opponent plays bishop f3, attacking this rook. That's why in this position I did not play the move, obviously, guys. This is a blunder, right? Because now queen is just gobbling up a free rook here. Right, so that was not played in the game. Do not play that first, capturing the light squared bishop now, and after queen does this, then knight over into b8 is a perfect move. That's fine. Again, something like this isn't really possible. I mean, you're just giving up a rook here, so black should accept that with open arms, but white will not play that. Instead, back to the game here, guys. Just now playing rook b8. queen to g3 now, attacking my g7 pawn. Sorry guys, g7, g6 was not played in the game. Instead we saw bishop b7 check now to the white king, and best square, king f2, and now forcing an exchange of queens, and my opponent here played rook to h1. And now guys, can you just finish the game for black? Can you guys set up a board in this position at home, or just solve the puzzle now? It's pretty basic. It's simple. Queen into g3, king recaptures, and now capturing the h1 rook with the h8 rook. And after rook swings over to recapture, guys, just bishop into h1, and this was the end of the game. Okay, so bishop h1 was the final move of the game. My opponent resigned, as there's really no point in continuing. There's just too much material, and white only has 3 pawns for 6 pawns, a rook, and a bishop. So yeah, no need to continue there. Of course, here, guys, you can always just capture with the bishop first. But I thought it was good to just exchange the rooks first, and then force my opponent, yes, to recapture, and then after this, have my opponent resign the game. This was another old Sicilian defense, guys, brought to you by Colin Heim with U.S. Virgin Islands Chess at home and abroad. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Again, as per usual, should have gotten something out of this c4, c5, knight f3, knight c6. Let's just go through it one more time, guys. There's only 30 moves, just so we understand the dynamics of this e6 response to d4. We saw knight to c3, queen b6, knight a4 attacking the queen, queen to b4 check, c3 as it does, kicking the queen way back to a5. Whoops. And remember we said that this was ill-advised, knight capturing on c5. Of course, now the horse gets recaptured by the bishop, and regaining that pawn that was just kind of let go in that opening. So black is doing great here with knight to f6. Beautiful stuff. Bishop into e3. Those bishops look pretty good for team white, but as we see after the queen drops back to e7, and my opponent pushes e5, which is probably the best move now after knight to g4 attacking the bishop. Bishop g5 now attacking that queen parked on e7. Queen to c5 and short castles. Now just giving up the e5 center pawn, and black is just playing all the proper moves here. Knight into f3 check, of course. Bishop captures, and I think the star move of this game, guys, we could stop here. I think knight into f2 is just beautiful, and this is a really good tactic. Try to find small tactics like these, guys, in your games online or over the board. Otherwise, just take care and have a lovely time. Again, this was Colin, and knight to f2 was a real beautiful move. Again, the whole plan is just for rook captures, and then after that, just re-winning the lost material, and that's a cool tactic. Black is up 2 pawns in this position, and this is what I was expecting. I actually know how to win this endgame, the back of my hand. Thank you guys all for watching, and see everyone on the other side. Bye-bye, guys.